ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्ष संन्यास योगः। अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुं त्यागस्य च ऋषिकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन। Arjuna said, O Krishna, I desire to know the essence or truth of sannyasa and also of tyaga. Brief note: sannyasa is also known as renunciation and tyaga is also known as abandonment or relinquishment. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं संन्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुस्त्यागं विचक्षणाः. Blessed Lord Sri Krishna said, the sages understand that giving up all the actions that are done with the desire to attain rewards as sannyasa or renunciation. Giving up the results of all action is called as tyaga or abandonment or relinquishment by the wise. Tyajyam doshavadityeke karma prahurmanishinaha yajnadana tapah karma natyajyam iti chapare. Some men of wisdom declare that all actions should be given up as they are evil or flawed, but others say that acts like sacrifice or yajna, charity or dana, and austerity or tapasya should not be given up or relinquished. Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama त्यागो हि पुरुष व्याघ्र त्रिविध संप्रकीर्तितः. Now hear my conclusion or the final truth about tyaga, O Arjuna. Tyaga has been declared to be of three kinds. Yajna dana tapah karma natyajyam karyameva tat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. The acts of sacrifice or yajna, charity or dana, and austerities or tapasya should not be given up or relinquished, but should rather be performed. Yajna, dana, and tapasya are the purifiers of the wise. Etanyapi tu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha कर्तव्या नीति में पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. But even these actions should be done without attachment and without expecting any rewards or without expecting the fruits of action. This is my certain and best opinion. Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate मोहात् तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः. Certainly, to renounce one's prescribed duties is not proper. Such a renunciation due to ignorance or delusion is said to be tamasic. Dukkhamityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. He who abandons an action due to fear of physical discomfort because it is painful, his tyaga or abandonment is said to be rajasic. He does not obtain any fruits or benefits of such tyaga. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyaga satviko mataha. O Arjuna, he who performs his prescribed duties
solely because it has to be done. By abandoning attachment and also giving up the fruit of action, such a tyaga is regarded to be sattvika.
न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः.
Such a person whose tyaga is of sattvika nature neither hates unpleasant action nor is attached to actions that are pleasurable. Such a person is pervaded or filled with purity and is intelligent with all his doubts cut away or removed.
न हि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी सत्यागीत्यभिधीयते.
Indeed, it is impossible for embodied beings to give up all actions entirely, but one who gives up the fruits of his actions is said to be a renunciate or tyagi.
अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलं भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित्.
After death, the threefold results of action, namely desirable, undesirable, and mixed, follow those who have not renounced, but this does not happen for those who have renounced or for tyagis.
पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
O Arjuna, learn from me the 5 causes that are necessary for the accomplishment of all actions as declared in the Sankhya philosophy or Sankhya system.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग् विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टाः दैवं चैवात्र पंचमम्.
The body, which is also known as the seat of the action, the performer of the action, the various organs of senses or organs of perception, the different activities, and also divinity, the 5th.
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः.
Whatever action a man performs with his body, speech, and mind, whether it is right or wrong, these 5 factors are the cause of all actions.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः.
That being the case, he who sees himself alone as the doer due to his untrained understanding, such a person is of limited intelligence or dim-witted.
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमा लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
One who is free from the egotistical notion that I am the doer, and one whose intelligence is not tainted, though he kills many people, he does not kill, nor is he bound by his actions.
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधा कर्म संग्रहः.
Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the threefold causes of action. Sense organs, the action itself, and the doer or the performer are the threefold basis or constituents of action.
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने यथावच्छृणुतान्यपि.
According to three different gunas, there are three different kinds of knowledge, three different kinds of action, and three different kinds of doers or performers. Now here, as I tell you about them. Note, the three different gunas are covered in detail in chapter 14 and chapter 17.
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
Brief note, the next three shlokas describe the three different kinds of knowledge that Krishna refers to in previous shloka. That knowledge by which the one indestructible, imperishable being is seen in all beings, undivided in the divided. Know that knowledge to be satvika.
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्.
That knowledge which sees various beings as separate and different from one another, no such knowledge to be rajasika.
यत्तु कृत्स्नवदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
But that knowledge by which a person is attached to or clings to one action as if it were everything, as if it were whole, without reason, without any foundation in the reality, knowledge which is narrow or small, such a knowledge is called tamasika.
नियतं संगरहितं अरागद्वेषतः कृतं अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते.
Note, the next three shlokas describe the three different kinds of action or work as told by Krishna in Shloka 19. The work or action which is performed as a prescribed duty, performed without attachment, which is done without love or hatred, performed without desiring the fruits or a result of action. Such an action is called satvika.
यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहंकारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तत् राजसमुदाहृतम्.
That action which is performed by a person longing for desires or gain, performed again with ego or with much effort, that action is declared to be rajasika.
अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनपेक्ष्य च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते.
That action which is undertaken from ignorance or delusion, without a regard for any consequence, loss, injury to others or injury to self, without regard for one's ability, this action is declared to be tamasika.
मुक्तसङ्गो नहं वादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते.
Note, the next three shlokas describes the three different kinds of doers or performers of action as referred to by Krishna in Shloka 19. A doer who is free from attachment, who is without ego or non-egoistic, who is filled with firmness and enthusiasm, and is unaffected by success or failure. Such a doer is called satvika.
Ragi karma phala prepsuhu lubdho himsatmako shuchihi harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikirtitaha.
A doer or performer of action who is passionate, who desires to gain the fruits of action or craves for rewards, who is greedy, harmful, or cruel to himself and others, impure, full of delight, joy, and grief. Such a doer is said to be Rajasika.
Ayukta prakrutastabdhaha shatho naiskritiko lasaha vishadi dirghasutri cha karta tamasa uchyate.
Unsteady or undisciplined, vulgar, stubborn, cheating, malicious or evil, lazy, full of despair, and procrastinating or indefinitely postponing something. Such a doer is said to be Tamasika.
Buddher bhedam dhriteshchaiva gunatastrividham shrunu prochyamanamasheshena pruthaktvena dhananjaya.
O Arjuna, according to three gunas, buddhi, that is reason or intellect, can be divided into three different kinds. Firmness or determination can also be divided into three different kinds. Listen as I declare to you about these, each completely and separately.
Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha ya vetti buddhi sapartha satviki.
Note, the next three shlokas describes the three different kinds of buddhi or reason or intellect as referred to by Krishna in the previous shloka. That intellect which knows when to engage and when to withdraw, which knows what should be done and what should not be done, when to be afraid and when to be fearless, and the difference between bondage and liberation. This buddhi is called Sattvika, O Arjuna.
Yaya dharma madharmam cha karyam cha karyameva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sapartha rajasi.
That buddhi or intellect which wrongly understands right and wrong, dharma and adharma, which does not know what should be done and what should not be done. Such a buddhi is called Rajasika, O Arjuna.
Adharmam dharmamitiya manyate tamasavruta sarvarthan viparitamscha buddhi sapartha tamasi.
O Arjuna, that intellect which is enveloped or covered in darkness, which sees adharma as dharma, or which sees unrighteousness as righteousness, and which sees all things in reverse or opposite, that buddhi is said to be Tamasika.
Dhritya yaya dharayate manah pranendriya kriyaha yogena vyabhicharinya dhriti sa partha satviki.
Note, the next three shlokas describes the three different kinds of dhriti or firmness or determination referred to by Krishna in Shloka 29. That unshakable firmness or dhriti with which one controls the activity of the mind, the vital breath or prana, and the senses through yoga, that dhriti or firmness is said to be Sattvika.
Yaya tu dharma kamarthan dhritya dharayate arjuna prasangena phalakankshi Dhriti sa partha rajasi.
But that firmness, O Arjuna, by which one clings to duty, pleasure, and wealth with intense attachment and desiring the fruits of actions, that firmness, O Arjuna, is said to be Rajasika.
Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madameva cha na vimunchati durmedhaha dhriti sa tamasi mata.
That firmness by which a foolish, dim-witted person does not abandon or does not give up sleep, fear, grief, depression, and also arrogance, pride, that firmness or dhriti, O Arjuna, is said to be tamasika.
Sukham tvidanim trividham shrunu me bharatarshabha abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati.
And now hear from me, O Arjuna, to the three different kinds of happiness and how through practice one can rejoice in such happiness and put an end to one's misery.
Yattadagre vishamiva pariname mrutopamam tatsukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam.
That happiness which is like poison in the beginning but becomes like nectar or amrita in the end, such a happiness is said to be sattvika. It is born from the peaceful or calm state of mind due to self-realization.
Vishayendriya samyogat yattadagre mrutopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukham rajasam smrutam.
That happiness which appears at first just like nectar arising from the contact of the senses with sense objects, but in the end is just like poison, such a happiness is said to be Rajasika.
Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamatmanaha nidralasya pramadotham tattamasamudahrutam.
That happiness which deludes or confuses the self at both the beginning and the end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and carelessness, such a happiness is declared to be tamasika.
Na tadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakriti jairmuktam yadebhi syatribhir gunaihi.
There is no being either on this earth or again in heaven among the gods or devas who are free from the three gunas born of prakriti or nature.
Brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani swabhava prabhavair gunaihi.
O Arjuna, the duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distributed according to the gunas born of their own nature.
Shamodamastapa shaucham kshantirajavameva cha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma swabhavajam.
Serenity or calmness, peacefulness, self-restraint, austerity or tapasya, purity, forgiveness, and also uprightness or straightforwardness, knowledge, wisdom or realization, belief in God or faith are the duties of Brahmanas who are born of their own nature.
Shauryam tejo dhrutir dakshyam yuddhe chapyapalayanam danamishvara bhavascha kshatram karma swabhavajam.
Heroism and courage, splendor, firmness or determination, skill or dexterity, and also not running away from battle, generosity, leadership, or lordliness. These are the duties of Kshatriyas who are born of his own nature.
कृषि गौरक्ष्य वाणिज्यं वैश्य कर्म स्वभावजं परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्.
Agriculture, cattle rearing and protection of cows, trade and business. These are the natural duty of those who are born in Vaishya nature. Whereas service to others is the natural quality of the Shudras.
स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु.
A person attains perfection by remaining devoted to his own duties. Now listen to me as I explain how this perfection can be attained by one who is devoted to his own duty.
यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः.
He from whom all beings are originated and from whom all this is pervaded or filled. By worshipping such a Lord along with performing his prescribed duty based on his own nature, a man attains perfection.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
It is better to perform one's own duty imperfectly or badly than the duty of another well performed. He who does the duty according to his own nature incurs no sin.
सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः.
O Arjuna, one should not abandon his duties even if he sees faults or imperfections in them. All activities are clouded with defects and faults, just as a fire is covered or enveloped by smoke.
असक्त बुद्धि सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगत स्पृहः नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति.
He whose intellect is free from attachment everywhere, who has conquered his self, from whom all desires have fled, he, through renunciation, attains the supreme perfection of freedom from action.
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा.
O Arjuna, learn from me in brief how one who has attained this perfection realizes the Brahman, which is the supreme state of knowledge.
बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तः धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयांस् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च.
United with the pure intellect, controlling the self by firmness or great determination, having abandoned sounds and other objects of senses like sight, touch, taste, smell, having abandoned attraction and hatred.
विविक्तसेवी लघ्वाशी यतवाक् कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः.
Staying in solitude, eating lightly, controlling speech, body and mind, always engaged in meditation and concentration, and taking refuge in detachment.
Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamah shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Having abandoned ego, power, arrogance, desire, anger, possessiveness, greed, and freed from the notion of mine and peaceful, one is fit to become Brahman.
Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param.
Having attained the state of Brahman, peaceful in the self, he neither grieves nor desires. He remains the same to all beings, and he obtains supreme devotion towards me.
Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram.
By devotion towards me, he knows me in essence, what and who I am, and then, having known me in my essence, he immediately enters into the Supreme.
Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madvyapashrayaha matprasadad avapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam.
Although performing all different kinds of actions or work, by always taking refuge in me, a person reaches the eternal, indestructible abode or home through my grace.
Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhiyogamupashritya macchitta satatam bhava.
By mentally renouncing all actions in me or dedicating all actions to me, having me as the highest goal, resorting to the yoga of wisdom or buddhi yoga, focus your mind always on me.
Macchitta sarva durgani matprasadat tarishyasi atha chetvam ahankarat na shroshyasi vinangshyasi.
By fixing your mind on me, you will overcome all obstacles through my grace. Now, if you will not listen to me because of your ego, you will be utterly destroyed and perish.
Yadahankaram ashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakritistvam niyokshyati.
Filled with ego, if you think I will not fight this battle, then your determination will be in vain or pointless. Your nature will compel you to fight anyway.
Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddha svena karmana kartum nechhasi yanmohat karishasya vashopi tat.
Bound by your own action or duty, born of your own nature, that which you wish not to do under ignorance, you shall even do that helplessly against your own will.
Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddesherjuna tisthati bhramayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya.
The Lord resides in the hearts of all beings, O Arjuna, causing all beings by his power of illusion or maya to revolve and keep wandering as if mounted on a machine.
Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam.
O Arjuna, find shelter in the same Lord with your whole being. By his grace you shall obtain supreme peace, the everlasting abode or home.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
In this way I have declared to you knowledge which is more secret than other secrets. Having reflected upon it and analyzed it fully, act as you wish.
सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Listen again to my supreme word, most secret among all secrets, because you are beloved to me and unshakable of heart. Therefore, I will tell you what is good for your own benefit.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Fix your mind upon me, be my devotee, offer everything as a sacrifice or offering to me. Worship me and bow down to me, and you shall surely come to me. I promise you this truly because you are very dear to me.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Abandon all dharma and seek shelter in me alone. I will liberate you from all sins. Do not sorrow. Note, this is one of the most interpreted, controversial shloka having multiple commentaries and explanations from various schools of thoughts. Dharma here can mean duty. It can also mean anything with the body, mind and intelligence.
इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न चाशुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयति.
This teaching of mine should never be spoken by you to a person who lacks spiritual discipline or one who is devoid of austerities, one who is without devotion, one who does not wish to listen, and one who is hateful towards me or speaks ill of me.
य इमं परमं गुह्यं मद्भक्तेष्वभिधास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैशत्य संशयः.
He who teaches this supreme secret to my devotees, having shown the highest devotion to me, he shall come to me without a doubt.
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि.
There is no one dear to me among men than one who performs such a service to me, nor will there be ever another person on earth who is dearer to me.
अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टः स्यामिति मे मतिः.
It is my firm opinion that whoever studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me with an offering of knowledge or jnana yoga.
श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभालोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
A person who also listens to this conversation with complete faith, free from envy or jealousy, he shall be liberated from evil and shall reach the auspicious worlds of those who have performed virtuous and good deeds.
कच्चिदेतत् श्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा Kachidajnana pranashtaste dhananjaya.
O Arjuna, have you listened to this with a focused and concentrated mind? Has your delusion caused by ignorance been destroyed?
Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smrutirlabdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava.
Arjuna said, O Krishna, you have removed my delusion or confusion. Through your grace, I have regained my memory. I am firm. My doubts are now gone, and I shall act according to your word, or I shall act according to your bidding.
Sanjaya uvacha ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanaha samvadamimam shraushyam adbhutam romaharshanam.
Sanjaya said, in this way I have heard this marvelous dialogue between Vasudeva or Krishna and the great noble souled Arjuna, which has caused my hair to stand on end.
Vyasa prasada shrutavan imam guhyatamam param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshat kathayata swayam.
By the grace of Vyasa, I have listened to this secret and the most supreme yoga directly from Lord of Yoga, Yogeshwara Krishna himself declaring it.
Rajan samsmritya samvadamimam adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam hrishyami cha muhurmuhu.
O King Dhritarashtra, remembering again and again this wonderful and holy sacred conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, I rejoice again and again repeatedly.
Taccha samsmritya rupamatyadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan hrishyami cha punah punaha.
O great King Dhritarashtra, remembering and again remembering the most marvelous form of Hari or Krishna, I am filled with astonishment and wonder, and I rejoice over and over again.
Yatra yogeshwara krishno yatra partho dhanurdharaha tatra shrir vijayo bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama.
Wherever there is Sri Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Partha or Arjuna, the great archer, there will certainly be prosperity, wealth, victory, and happiness. This is my firm opinion.
Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Moksha Sanyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadashodhyayaha.